Hello friends, it's June. Almost half the year has already gone by in 2026. It's winter here in the southern hemisphere. This lime tree is full of tiny fruit, which I'm hoping I'll get to taste very soon. I don't know if you can see some of the fruit. There's all of this fruit here. Yeah, the tree's really full of tiny little lemons. Today, so I've been writing this book, and I told myself, I just found myself again and again in the last few weeks repeating, oh, I want to finish this book by winter solstice. Oh, I'd love to finish this book by winter solstice. There's a couple of chapters that I have to finish. And it's more an aspiration because, we can only propose. And so I kept going to myself in my head and to other people in my life going, oh, how lovely would it be if I could finish this book by winter solstice. And then I realized that I wasn't using, winter solstice is 21st of June, but I wasn't using that terminology, 21st of June. And of course, if you've been following my journey on this channel, on my Substack, which is Holistic Lifestyle Medicine.substack.com, I'll link it all in the description of this video, then you know that I've been on a journey of slowing down, of arriving more and more into my body and healing my body, decolonizing my body. What does it mean though? I'll tell you. So when I was a little girl, when I lived in India with my parents, I spent every summer and winter school holidays with my grandparents in a little village in northern India, in Punjab. Every summer for 2 months, every winter for a month. So that's 3 months in a year that I was immersed in village life. And I remember the conversations in those times between my grandparents and their extended tribe was always like when they spoke of time, they always spoke in seasons. The language was very different, right? And it has only just really dawned upon me how they never used the Gregorian calendar months, because of course that was not their culture, that was not their life at all. That's not how they measured life, that's not how they measured their work or milestones or aspirations. And I remember work, because it was a very busy agrarian life, right? There was always so much to do, but the language was always something like, oh, we need to get the roofs repaired before the rains come, or we need to, you know, process this produce before the first frost or the first fog or or before winter. And I remember they'd also make references to the full moon or the new moon, and yeah, so time was measured in nature's cycles, in nature's rhythms, and it wasn't even a conscious choice on their parts. That's just how it is when you're living a life that is actually immersed in connection with land, in harvesting, in sowing. You're acutely aware of seasons, and you're acutely aware of the change that seasons bring about. So you need to be prepared. You need to, prepare yourself. You need to do all the things you need to do to prepare for the next cycle. And then it occurred to me how absolutely artificial the construct of calendar months is, right? The Gregorian calendar. I don't know much about the history of this calendar. I think it may have come from the Roman Empire, but it has come from an empire. It's not natural. And so I find that the more I arrive into the felt sense of life through my body, the more my language of time is changing. which is just has blown my mind because it's only just very recently that I've started to talk in terms of seasons. I mean, I still slip into the old language, but when I slip into the old language of years, months, you know, I get stressed. I feel a stress in the body. And this is so profound because this is actually my direct experience. Every time I think about what I need to do or what I would like to do in terms of the Gregorian calendar, in terms of the year, and I start going, oh, so many months have passed, and I haven't made any money, or I need to finish this by September or October. Oh, a year has again passed and I haven't achieved what I would have liked to achieve. We're actually holding ourselves to a false standard, a false construct, an artificial construct, because that's not how life moves. That's not how life in this body moves. Life in this body moves through rhythms, cycles, seasons. And so, if we really want to look at any progress, or if we want to look at how we've evolved, or how our expression has evolved, or look at it in terms of seasons, start to look at it in terms of cycles, and that really, really changes the way, it changes the entire perception of time, the entire perception of ourselves in the world, in the world of form, in the world of time. And yeah, even my own growth, even my own evolution now, I am noticing it in terms of seasons. So there'll be a season, of grief, or a season of clearing the body, or a season of resting. Then there's a season of expressing, a season of growth, not growth, but more a season of, and then there's a season of creativity, there's a season of expression, there's a season of going outwards into the world, right? And when we start to attune ourselves with this natural rhythm, we start being less harsh with ourselves. Because let's face it, the Gregorian calendar, the months, the years, 2025, 2026, what does it even mean? Nature doesn't Nature doesn't follow these. Nature doesn't care about 2025, 2026. The squirrels, the birds, the trees, the fruit, the grass, the honeybees, the caterpillars, none of them care that this is the month of June. All they know is that this is winter and we need to rest, or we need to go into our little holes or wherever they're all living at the moment. I don't see much of them around on my land. Not a single tree here cares that we're in 2025. Or sorry, we're in 2026. Not a single bird. The parrots that you're hearing, the magpies, the cockatoos, they have no knowledge of 2026. They have no knowledge of months. And yeah, so this is I'm always going back into how does nature do things? What's the natural design of things? What's the natural order of things? How do things play out in nature? Right? And every time I look there, I see just how much of a synthetic, artificial construct we are all living in, especially of time. And I've been playing with the language of time. Just this morning, as I was walking on my dawn walk, and I was realizing just how, as I said at the start of my video, how I have been referring to a milestone, which is the completion of writing this book, in terms of solstice and not end of this month or July or August, and how my feeling of time in my body has changed to seasons, I thought, let me play around with language again. How does it feel when I'm back using the language of the dominant capitalist economic system, which is the Gregorian calendar, which is, or the empire's time. Let's call it organic time versus the empire's time, right? When I'm talking empire time, when I'm talking months, years, my body stresses. It doesn't recognize that, right? If I go, oh, by next season, oh, by spring, it would be lovely if I could have finished planting these particular trees. I would have loved to have finished this part of painting my room or the house that we're building. By next season, it would be lovely to have done this. There is an ease in the body because now I'm talking season. I'm talking about real time, organic time, which the body recognizes. So the body feels comfortable. But when I'm talking by August, I would like to have done this and this and this, or by September, I literally feel a contraction in my stomach. Right now, as I say August, September, I'm feeling a contraction in my gut, very mild. And even when I think about the months that have gone by, right? When I think months, I feel a stress that I haven't done much because I'm measuring myself against a construct which is artificial, which my body doesn't understand. So then there's a sense of I haven't been productive, I haven't done much. But when I look at season, when I look at, oh, we're heading into winter and these last few months I've been resting, I've been shedding, and these insights have come through, this clarity has arrived, I have grieved, I have released a lot of stored grief in the body, and this is what I've done in this season, right? In this last few months, which is a season for me, the winter season, the autumn winter season. There is no problem because this was the season that I was meant to clear grief, where I was meant to rest, I was meant to slowly find my new expression, which is what you're hearing right now, right? This that I'm speaking now is part of the clearing that has happened in this season. The transmutation, the alchemizing, right? So that this expression, this human body and this mind and this expression can be here talking about organic time and empire time, and also speaking from such direct, profound experience in my body, and to be able to have reached this sensitivity in the body, to have reached this place where I can feel acutely, minutely, the subtle shift of tension in the body when I think about my place in the world and my objectives and my aspirations in time. And when I'm switching that language, as I said, between seasons and cycles versus linear Gregorian calendar constructs, being able to witness in real time how the body shifts, like to be able to land into this level of sensitivity is the consequence of being through the season that I have been through. So the point I'm making is that when we see our lives in seasons, we are less harsh upon ourselves, we're more kinder to ourselves, we are more understanding of the processes that are actually going on, which we sometimes cannot see until they've integrated fully into our mind and body. When we live in the empire's time, Gregorian calendar time, we are just notice how harsh we are on ourselves, how rigid we are with ourselves, how unkind we are with ourselves. because that is such an artificial construct that does not honor the body's natural cycles, the body's natural rhythm, we always feel like we're behind, like we've not done enough, we've not achieved enough. Because that calendar system, that construct of time, was created by the egoic human thought, right? It's completely a thought construct. It's not the natural way of things, as I said. Nothing outside of the human world, in the natural world, lives by that calendar, lives by that time construct. And so, yeah, just an invitation as part of this video is to see if you can recognize, looking back, because the cycles are always going on, even if we don't recognize them, even if we have no awareness of them. In retrospect, we can see that our life was actually lived in seasons and cycles, not in linear time. And there'll be seasons where you felt like you were expanding and growing and full of creativity, and there'd be seasons when you were, yeah, when you were inwards and you were healing and clearing, and just in those in between places, right, where you're not sure, and then clarity arrives, and then you're in the next phase of your expression. And this is always happening in cycles. And this is how it happens in nature as well. So I really just wanted to invite all of you that are watching this video, that are actually on the path of healing through the body, have actually realized that they're actually living in chronic stress in the body. I would invite you to look at your sense of time and your sense of identity that is attached to that sense of time, and see if you can loosen that. Just soften it. It's not. It doesn't happen overnight. It does not happen overnight. It takes years, seasons, of active work to come into a level of trust in the slowness, a level of trust in the stillness. Even now, this morning, as I knew that I was, I wanted to make this video, then I wanted to make a shorter video on my phone, and then I want to go to the library and write my chapter of this book that I want to finish by winter solstice. I suddenly saw my body going, oh, too much, how am I going to finish it? I don't have enough time, And then I caught myself. I caught myself because I know that there is a programmed scarcity of time. So programmed scarcity of resources and a programmed scarcity of time. There is no actual lack of time. It's programmed within us. From the point we were little children, we were constantly rushed and told, quick, jaldi karo, chalo. And this rush lives in our body, lives in our nervous systems. So I have to consciously then center myself, remind myself that I don't have any lack of time. There is no time, like this moment right now that I'm talking in this camera extends into eternity. Eternity. This moment is so expansive. Where is the shortage of time? And this sense of time is what this invitation is into through this video, through what I'm saying. And it was just my aspiration that you can feel that there's, even if you're not at that point yet where you're living that organic, natural sense of time, it's an invitation, and there will be a recognition, I'm sure, that it's available to you as well. Thank you.